Okay, this is Aaron again with Exalted Lamb 1, and I have here episode 2 for you. Kind of piggybacking off episode 1, I'm going to talk about a few things with the Economist magazine World in 2019, as well as some other things, and I'm going to get into the complete decode of the Mona Lisa. A lot of you didn't know that was even a thing, but it is because I found it. And I think you're going to be a believer after I show this to you. So kind of recapping, getting right into it here. But I want to ask everyone to please, if you find these episodes, convincing of this date time frame, please share these. I really need your help to share these with other people. Anyone you know, anybody you don't know. Because we need to warn as many people as possible. Because for people that don't know, there's going to be two mega tsunamis that are going to hit each coast, the West Coast and the East Coast, on this time frame of November 21st through the 22nd, depending on which time zone. So November 21st on Hawaii time zone, and then November 22nd early in the morning. So the Hawaii time zone is late at night or after 9 p.m., and then the East Coast time zone, basically, the EST, I guess, or the Eastern time zone, would be the 22nd, a little after 3 a.m. And both the mega tsunamis are pre-planned by the Luciferian global elites to hit both coasts, which will in turn cause a massive displacement of land as well on the mainland. So you'll have a lot of major earthquakes and faults going off, and this is going to be the beginning of the destruction of the United States. And then basically I'm showing a day to 2 days later, depending on what time zone you're in, we're going to have the nuclear attack. So this is very important. This is big stuff. I need to warn as many people as possible. I need all you to help me. So if this information is convincing at all, please share this with others. You'd want to be warned, and so I thank you for warning others. Even if you don't agree with this completely, or you see maybe there's something in this, or if you even want to say, hey, check out this crazy guy who's saying this stuff. Whatever you need to say, get this out, because the Lord Jesus is basically moving in me, and he has for the last year and 2 months to get this out on YouTube. So I'm showing you more and more evidence as these episodes go, and things I've shown in the past as well of what's coming. So to reiterate what I did in my episode 1, towards the end, I'm showing the 21st day of the 9th month of 2019 is when the attack's going to be on Hawaii, okay? It's going to be a nuclear torpedo, which is a Poseidon missile shot from a Russian submarine. That's what all the predictive programming is showing. Okay, and I've shared all of this in my other videos. You can look at past video series. I would go as far as back as August attacks, and then iPad Go 2 and Georgia Guidestones completely solved. Then also, the other ones since then up to now. So if you can check out any and all or all of those, I would. There's a lot of information in all those, and I keep do my best to guess when the time frame is. Well, now, because I have this time frame, there's nothing that's not hitting this time frame that I've researched in the past. It has hit I've tried to shoot holes in this time frame, and I can't. That's one of my processes, to try to shoot holes in a date or a possible time frame. Okay, so anyway, so let the evidence be presented here and see what you think. It's all up to you. So, and again, I don't know the future. I don't have a crystal ball. I'm not prophesying anything. it's my supposition, or it's my theory that this will all happen on this time frame from November 21st, basically, is when it'll start, through November 23rd. Okay, so what I'm showing here is the 21st of the 9th month, 2019, is when the attack on Hawaii. So I'm going to talk about this. The 9th month is actually, like I mentioned, watch my previous video without getting into everything, but it's November. Novem in Latin is 9. So in the month of November is Latin number 9, and it's the 11th month. So in the month of November alone is 9/11. Okay, so that's the actual real attack day to take down the United States. The original 9/11 was just a shadow of what they're really intending. And it wasn't actually the 9th month and the 11th day, the last 9/11. Okay, but I'm going to talk more about that in my next episode. So without much further ado. So that's the time frame here. I'm going to talk more about how this Economist cover here, when I've taken the two covers and put them together. So I took the original cover and then reversed it and then stuck it side by side to the one that was released to the public. And it's reversed. The one on the left is reversed. So as you see, I'm just recapping some things, but as you see in the middle, this is a picture of Molech. Okay, right here is his eyes right here, horns, nose, kind of wide nostrils right here, and head. And then this is his ears right here. That shows it right here, kind of. And this is the sacrifice of these psychos that, these Luciferian global elites that believe in Molech, want to sacrifice a bunch of children and people. They call it the sacrifice of the goats and the sheep. By the way, Hawaii, the Big Island, it's the shape of a goat's head. Or you can look at it as also the shape of a sheep's head. It's got the ear, the mouth, the neck, and right where the neckline is, and I didn't put a slide in here, right where the neckline is where Kilauea is, where the fissures that went off last year are, and it makes a dotted line all the way down to the coast, and that's where they're going to cut the throat of the goat / sheep, because it's, like the Bible says, the sheep and the goats. So the sheep represent the believers, the goats represent the unbelievers in a sense. And so they're going to sacrifice people to Molech, and that's why Molech is shown here when I put these two together. So I'm going to show you far more in this episode. Okay, so right in the bottom here, let me go back here. Right here is what I'm showing you right here. And this is where the pit is opening. Okay, it says Molech's coming out right here. The pit is right here. And I've showed some of this in my last video or last series. But I'm going to show more here. So again, this is the locust. You see this locust here? There's the head with mandibles here, eyes. And then these dark spots, like orangish spots, are connections where the legs joints are. And then there's a head, thorax, abdomen right here. You can see. And there's several other faces in here. There's a face right here with two eyes right here and a mouth. And then right here, those two eyes make like ears of a bat's head right here. You can look at that yourself. This is the pit right here. This is also some kind of buffalo-looking man creature. There's several faces blended together. So there's a nose right here, eyes, and then just kind of make kind of horns with a kind of a goatee thing down here, which I can't get to on this pointer thing, which is really ridiculous. Anyway, this is the pit right here. This is representing the pit right here, which is Hawaii. Hawaii, by my research for a long time, several years, has shown me that, and other people like Daniel Alexander Cannon with Logic Before Authority, he's confirmed a lot of things that I've seen already as well. He knows this as well. Hawaii is the cap of the abyss, and then CERN's going to use the technology they have with the Large Hadron Collider to open up a portal. Once they blow it, then these things are going to come out. And then these all kinds of spiritual beings and locusts that the Bible talks about in Revelation 9. Okay, and I'm showing you that right here. This is a locust right here, and other demon faces coming out here as well. There's far more I'm going to show you, so hold on, buckle up here. And then towards the top of the magazine, when you were putting these two back to back, you see this kind of locust king kind of thing. He's got a smile right here. He's got antenna right here. If you can see this, I'm gonna show you far more than just this. He's got like a chest right here. Here's the shoulders right here. Anyway, there's so much, but I'm just letting you know it's right here. And there's so much in this imagery. If you go along this whole spine, all the way from top to bottom, upside down and right side up, there's so many faces. I'm gonna show you some of these right now, and you won't believe it. Okay, so then let's go take the whole thing upside down now, and then you can see a face right here. This, whatever this is, I don't know if this is an armadillo or it's something else. I can't remember the creature. I should probably looked it up. But you see the eyes right here. He's got pupils right there, right there. There's kind of a nose right here. There's fangs right here, and this thing right here. There's another set of eyes right here. But now look for a second. And then this is an ear. This is an ear. Kind of squint your eyes a little bit, and then it kind of helps you see it. It almost looks like a baboon-looking creature right here. There's another one here. There's a skull in the middle with an absence of the nose, like the shadow of a skull nose. There's a skull right here. There's so many things in here if you just kind of look at it, take some time. But I'm going to show you more things that you can't see by just looking at the cover plainly. Okay, so let me zoom it up a little bit more. Take this second. If you need to pause the video, look at this. Really look at this. And it kind of, what helps me just kind of squint my eyes a little bit. And maybe this is like the Locust King, or maybe that's Apollyon, technically, I don't know, or maybe some other main creature or something. I don't know what it is. I know what some of these things are, but other things, I mean, who the heck knows? I mean, I don't know what these things are that are coming out exactly. I know what the Bible says about it. A locust army is going to be Apollyon or Abaddon, however you say his name. Abaddon's in the Hebrew, Apollon's in Greek. So basically, here it is, the top upside down. Now, I don't know if you can see this or not, but you can kind of see a face right here with big eyes. It almost looks like an alien head, or even, again, mandibles right here. 2 sets of mandibles. So this could be the Locust King right here. And then this is a volcano right here, the top of a volcano, if you can see it. And then it's exploding up. Okay, now don't just take what I'm saying for it. There's also a head right here with 2 eyes, and then shoulders right here. This blends. I mean, it just goes from one face to another face to another face. And I'm going to show you this. There's also a reptilian face right here. Okay, now you don't believe me? Now wait till I show you this. Okay, now I'm going to zoom up a little bit more so you can see a little bit more of some of these faces. And they, again, one, like, for example, an eye will blur into another set of something for another face, go up and down, but you can clearly see these mandibles right here. There's 2 sets. There's these big eyes, and this head right here. Now I'm going to show you something. Here we go. Are you ready? Are you ready? Bam! There we go, right there. See, I upped the exposure, and you can really see it. Look at this. Look at this Sauron, Lord of the Rings looking thing, and it's shooting up. This is a volcano shooting up. It just so happens that this parchment paper look to this cover is hiding the orangish parchment, yellowish parchment paper is hiding that you can up the exposure, and there's actually, it makes it red. It looks like lava shooting out, shooting out from this is the top. This is the top of the volcano right here, shooting up. And then you see this head emerge with eyes. This is a Apollyon, I believe, right here. Okay, and it's shooting up. And then look at this lizard face. You can really see, even backing out a little bit, if you kind of squint a little bit, these are eyes right here, and this is the nose, and this is kind of the rack, a little bit, of a goat. This is a goat's nose, goat eyes. I mean, even though they're faced forward, normally goat eyes are kind of to the side more, but it's kind of like a human goat kind of morphed together. It's really crazy. There's so much in here. Just take some time to look at this. Again, you can see these 2 mandibles right here. One set right here, one set right there. This face that's connected to it. You can see this, these 2 eyes, this mouth, this serpentine looking thing, this other bug like with 2 eyes and shoulders. There's another face, more faces in here. You can just look at this. Spend some time looking at this. This is Hawaii. Okay, this is Kilauea. This is what they're going to blow up to take this cap off. You don't have to believe me, it's going to happen, okay? But I'm showing you evidence of why would this be on this cover when I put these 2 together? Why would all this information be on this? It's not just chance. I'm not making this up. Anybody can look and see this. I'm going to show you a lot more stuff, okay? So, and again, back to the right side up. And then here we go, with up in the exposure, bam. Now you can see his face more. You can see this creature's got like there's a face right here, there's a face right here. It's smiling with these antennas sticking up. There's so much going on. You can see another several faces in here. I mean, this is really crazy. There's so much going on here. I can't even comment on all of it, but I'm going to touch some things. Look at this face right in between the Economist magazine. There's another crazy one with mandibles and eyes. Man, there's going to be some creatures coming out of there. And like I said, I don't know if I think there's going to be some physicalness because it says they're going to sting men for 5 months during the tribulation, beginning of the tribulation, and all that. But I think there's a lot of it that's going to be spiritual. These will be spiritual creatures as well. So I don't know all that stuff. I think they represent, a lot of it represents the spiritual creatures that are coming out, and how they manifest, I don't know. I know some of it, but I'm not going to get into that right now. Okay, look, here's another set right here on the upside down version here, and it's zoom in. See this face right here, this eye, nose, mouth, and also these 2 eyes become the fangs for this face with an eye, nose, fangs, eye, nose, mouth. It's crazy. And then down here, you have another thing like smiling with ears. There's eyes here, and then there's down here, you can see the mouth with teeth right here underneath this. And then the eyebrows of this guy make the fangs of this serpent right here. I mean, there's so many faces in these, and it just keeps going. It's like a blended totem pole. Have you ever seen totem poles? I'm from the Pacific Northwest. I grew up there, but now I'm in Colorado. But I've seen totem poles live and everything. And there's one figure, then there's another figure stacked on top. But this is like they're blended together. And there's the only way this could really be done really effectively like this. And for all these meanings and all this stuff on the cover and all this gematria and all this stuff is for demons to be behind the scenes of the artists doing this. And the Economist magazine owners and the people that are the artists and all that kind of stuff, whether how much they know, I don't know. So each person, there's levels of understanding. Probably most people that do these kind of things don't understand that they're being moved by demons. Maybe some do. So then now let me up this the exposure on this one as well, and you can see the little bit more detail and like some depth to these creatures here a little bit more. Some things you can't see as well as right here, but other things you can see more, and they kind of stick out more. So there's all kinds of things going on here. I mean, this is not a coincidence that all these faces show up, all these demonic looking faces. I mean, why they all have fangs and look demonic and look like something on a totem pole or something? It's very crazy. Okay, so that's what I'm going to cover right now. The thing I'm going to talk about really quick here is Google says that they have just reached quantum supremacy. This came out September 22nd. Hello, September 22nd. Like I said, September is pointing to the real ninth month, which is 11/22. So they're showing 11/22 right here. Okay, this is not a coincidence when they're putting this out. So I'm going to put a link in the description box of this article. Also, another link to the YouTube channel by Anthony Patch. And I've been following for probably about 4 or 5 years Anthony and other people that have been big time researchers on CERN. I've been getting updates on what CERN's doing with the Large Hadron Collider and how they really intend to rip open the space-time fabric and bring demons through that are actually on Saturn and locked up in Saturn. They're going to bring them through a portal that apparently exists. The doorway exists where Hawaii is, the Big Island specifically. Okay, where those volcanoes are right there, and they're going to blow that top, and then they're going to get this thing going. So they just achieved the ability for their computers, the quantum computers, which were originally produced by D-Wave, and then now we have IBM in the mix. We have Google. Now Google's saying basically, and if you want to look at this technical information, I'll let Anthony Patch kind of talk about it a little bit more. But he's researched all the white papers that a lot of these colleges, basically there's 200 and some colleges around the world that do all kinds of experiments. They have for many, many years, and then they feed all this information into CERN, and then CERN uses that, and they built this Large Hadron Collider, which is the largest machine ever made by man, and it's 300 feet under the ground. It's on this French-Swiss border underneath the ground. It's the largest machine, like I said, ever made, and it does these collisions of matter, protons, and I mean all this kind of stuff. I can't explain it all. I mean, I'm not super technical to be able to explain all this stuff exactly, but they're colliding protons and neutrons and all that kind of stuff, I guess. So, and what they're doing, they're going to actually rip a hole into space-time to bring these things through, and that's what they're really trying to do. They've admitted that and everything. So now they have the capability, which basically what they're saying, to map out the abyss and to open it up and keep it open for however long they need to do that to bring these things through for this time, which is the Bible describes. So I'm going to keep going here. So on the cover of the 2019 Economist magazine is this little item here, is one of the examples, and I'm going to show you how gematria is. They don't just have these. So this is an eye, right? I showed you how it's an eye in a few different ways, this dish here. But not only do the imagery, but they also show in the wording, the gematria. So in the original cover, it was actually backwards. New Horizons to Ultima Thule. And it was actually backwards. But now I took the cover and I put it, reversed that, which made the type forwards, correct, right? So, but this is the real message. There's several messages in all these in gematria, because this is what they believe. This is what the Kabbalists, numerologists believe that are ruling the world that I've talked about. Okay, so let's look at this first. So we have Ultima Thule, and I'm not even get into all the what all that means, those two words exactly. But in English gematria, it's 852, and you can see how each letter and what it equals. So in simple gematria, A equals 1, B equals 2, C equals 3. But in English gematria, you just take like that A that equals 1 and you times it by 6. And you take each one, so B equals 2 times that by 6, which you get 12. And so on and so forth. So everything is times 6 in the alphabet. So basically it's 852 in a sense points or characters, however you say this. I guess I don't know, I couldn't think of what to call those points. I'll just say there's 852 possible points in that name. Okay, but the chance of it matching these things are slim to none, especially how they're going to match what I'm talking about. Now, what I've talked about in the past, before I keep going here, is that Obama. So I've talked about this for many months before I'm even showing you this, and I've showed you so many examples in my videos for many months of how Obama's connected to Hawaii, not only because we already know he's supposedly born there, but many other things, how he is the Antichrist, and everything's pointing to him. No other names, no other people are pointing to within all this gematria than, I mean, nobody else as much as him. I mean, no one even close. Like I said, all the things I have about the Antichrist and how Obama is it, I have over 300 solid evidence that Obama is the Antichrist, and he will be the man that's brought back, and he will be the man that Lucifer incarnates. Okay, so Ultima Thule matches exactly in English gematria, which is impossible. Key to the gate. So we're talking about a gate, portal to the abyss. It's called the gate. It's also called, Jesus said he carries the key of David to open the portal, and that's in Revelation 2 and 3. He talks about the different churches and how the Philadelphian church will be taken out of the tribulation, and they're not subject to the tribulation like everybody else because of their faithfulness. He will open the key. He has the key of David to open the gate that no man can shut. Okay, and then it also happens to match exactly 852. Look at the middle number here, which is English gematria. Then you have Jewish, English, and then basic gematria or simple gematria on the right. So 852 also exactly matches President Obama. Are you kidding me? Okay, that's impossible. To give you an idea of how impossible that is, I'll give you an idea. So let's say you have, for each letter in Ultima Thule, you have one die. You know, like when you roll a die and you cast a lot or whatever, you roll a die. So think of a 6-sided die, okay? Just think, instead of being 6-sided, think of a 26-sided die, okay? And that's the first letter. So you roll a die and it ends up falling on you. Just imagine a 26-sided die, okay? And then L, and then T, and then I, and then M, and then A. You roll these die, and then, or one die, and it spells out this somehow. Or let's just say you have it. So let's just say you already have this word, okay? Then you try to roll a die. How many times would you have to roll a die before it exactly spelled out without any error? President Obama. It's infinite. I mean, you'd never in your lifetime get to President Obama because the numbers are off the charts. And that's a good example of me showing you how impossible these things are. I could talk about how impossible it is. Most people don't get it. But imagine you have a 26-sided die and you can't do anything. Let's say you were locked in a prison and they said until you spell out with this 26-sided die and you go one after the other until you spell out President Obama, you can't leave this prison. You'd never leave that prison in your lifetime. And you could pass it off to your next generation, and next generation, and you never roll President Obama in a row. You never would. That shows you how impossible this is to match and proving that it has to be designed. So you have key to the gate, President Obama, and then you won't even believe the next one that I have. And again, what was I talking about? I was talking about Hawaii. I was talking about a volcano. And what volcano matches this completely? Ultima Thule? Kilauea volcano. Exactly. And that's the one I'm talking about. That's one that was going off last year that caused these fissures that the elite, which the Rothschild family own the geothermal plant that's at the base of Kilauea that I've proven. I've showed documentation that they're basically fracking an active volcano. And they're using other technology, like one of my commenters said, and I already know this, they're using another form of technology that is moving lava in a direction they want to. They have a a weapon that can basically move lava. And I've never talked about this because I don't want to get into certain things, but they can direct lava. They have a machine that can actually do that. I don't know, I can't tell you how it works, but I know they're doing this. So they're making a scored mark from Kilauea across the East Rift Zone, so they can hit it with a nuclear tipped torpedo or nuclear torpedo. They call it the Poseidon, which is the name of a mega tsunami movie. It's just crazy. This is all people are being duped into all this stuff in movies and everything, and they have no idea. And it's going to be shot into the base of Kilauea, and it's going to explode, destroying the whole freaking island. The whole darn island. When I say freaking island. Some people maybe think I'm swearing. I'm not. I'm saying freaking island, and it's gonna open this thing up and destroy. And then of course a huge chunk of land is gonna fall into the ocean, causing a mega tsunami. Okay, this is real stuff, people. I'm not sharing these videos while I could be making money for my health. Okay, I'm doing it for you. I'm doing it for every one of you. The ones who believe in God, the ones who don't, anybody. You need to know America's slated for destruction, and it's all over in media that that's the case. And I've shown it in so many places. Have I not? Okay, so here's more on the Economist magazine cover. We have facial recognition. Well, a lot of people can look at facial recognition and say, okay, yeah, these are the sign of the times, facial recognition. But in this facial recognition imagery and in gematria are codes. See, this is how these people work. And here it's going to come back first full circle, if I could talk here. Going to come back full circle here, okay? Facial recognition in English gematria is 966. I won't even get into some of these numbers. I'm going to get into and how they match exactly to different things as well. So 966 is also 9 that's upside down, which is 666 as well. I'm just saying that stuff's always hidden in different ways. Multi-layered. It equals super volcano. It equals 11th month is what I'm talking about. And look at the number in Jewish gematria is 1111. Are you kidding me? 1111? I'm going to talk more about it in one of my next videos about 1111 and how November 11th and then 11 days later, November 22nd or 21st/22nd, because it depends on how you look at it. If 1111 is the first day and then you go 11 days, it's the 21st of November. If 1111 is the day that you count a day from, then it's the 22nd. That's how they look at this. That's why the attack day is going to be 21st and 22nd of November. So 1111 is in Jewish gematria also, which is just crazy. I mean, that's all planned. I mean, there's no way that matches. There's no way that matches. If you understand probabilities at all, if you have a little bit of understanding of numbers, you understand this. These things cannot match. They can't come back around in circles like they do. Okay, and then look at the simple gematria number. We have basically 161, which is a form of 116, which upside down and backwards is 911. I mean, it just goes and goes. I mean, all these numbers, I can't get into explanation of all the numbers, but they all have to do with each other in different ways. They can't directly match because that would be that wouldn't serve their purposes of things being so hidden, but they match in different ways and covert ways usually. Okay, and then look, King of the Abyss matches exactly. And what are we talking about? We're talking about the abyss opening. We're talking about Barack Hussein Obama being born in Hawaii, and these things being connected to this volcano in Hawaii. And, Barack Obama was supposedly born in Hawaii. He was not. He's a clone. And I've shown all kinds of evidence of that. He doesn't have a real birth certificate. That's been proven by 2 houses of forgery, one from Europe, one from the United States. There's 9 points of forgery that they've both found that his existing birth certificate that he released is completely fake, and there's 9 points of forgery. Plus, his social security number has been proven that it's not even that it was previously owned by a dead man. That lived in like 1920 something or whatever. Okay, I have so much evidence you can't even imagine. Okay, and I've shared some of it, and I'm not going to get into a video about it because the Lord doesn't want me to. He wants me to keep my message of warning. But Barack Obama is the Antichrist, and you will see him come back on the stage very soon, especially when this catastrophe starts. And he's going to solve so many things, and he's going to be Lucifer incarnate in him. Then we have Britain beyond Brexit. Okay, again, that's shown forward when you reverse it, which is crazy. They love the reverse thing. They love the upside down. They love the backwards and upside down, all this stuff. So Britain beyond Brexit is really interesting because I'm going to show you all three in this particular version. Now, I could show you more with Gematrinator. I'm using gematrix.org. GEMATRIX.org, which you can go to. But in this situation, I'm doing it this way for several reasons. But in Jewish gematria, look up here, is 1238. And there's so much to that because 1238 is 1121 backwards. And we're talking about 1121. And then in the middle one, English gematria, is 1296. And that actually is 1 plus 2 plus 9 is 21. And that's 21/6 or 2/16, which is Barack Obama's date of birth, or the day of the year that Barack Obama was supposedly born. But it also, it's many things. And then look underneath is this exact same number, 2/16. And it just so happens to match. These all three point to this day. And then, by the way, let me share this with you. So 2/16, well, I recently had a dream. I haven't had a big dream in a while. I think it was like 8 months ago since my last big dream from the Lord. And I've told many people in my videos, Jesus walked up to me and whispered in my ear, 923 is 623. And that helped me with a lot of things, uncovering a lot of things and what that meant. It took me a while to kind of work all this stuff out. And now I understand the time frame, what this all means. And then what happened a couple nights ago was I had a really fast dream as well. And I think it's giving me quick dreams because I'm not dreaming like I used to because I'm having issues with sleeping. I have sleep apnea and I'm trying to deal with that, and it's hard. Anyways, that's a long story. But so I'm not having dreams like I used to because I'm kind of waking myself up at times. But anyway, he did a really quick dream where I saw in the air, big in front of me, 2/16. It was just, like eye level, but in the air, I saw 2/16. I knew what that meant. I knew that was Barack Obama's supposed birthday. That was his thing. And of course, like I've said many times, 216 is 6 times 6 times 6, or 666. There's so much stuff going on with that number. I could do a whole video on it. I'm not going to. Then he walked up to it real quick, took his finger and flicked the 6, and it flipped upside down to 219. And I was like, whoa, 219 is 21st of the 9th month, which is, the 9th month is Novem, which is Latin. Novem is 9, November. Okay, like I've shared in my other videos, okay, especially my previous episode 1 here. So in the day he was born is really showing the day he will be born as the Antichrist. In so many ways, I can't even talk about it all the way. But what does this equal? 1961 exactly in Hebrew, in Jewish gematria. The reason why it's equating Jewish gematria is because he is the Jewish Messiah, false Jewish Messiah, false. Jesus is the real Messiah. Jesus, or Yeshua HaMashiach. He's the real Messiah. I call him Jesus. People get so religious. I call him Jesus because that's who I know him as. And I know about Yeshua HaMashiach, and either did most of Christianity in America for a long time, until recently. So I'm going to call him Jesus because that's what I know him as. And guess what? When I've cast out demons in Jesus' name, it works. And they are scared of him. And I've done different things in Jesus' name, and Jesus through me has healed people in Jesus' name, and it's worked, and it's stayed, and all kinds of stuff. So I'm gonna stick with Jesus because that's how I know him. And if it sounds like Zeus or whatever, I don't care. But he honors it, and so that's good enough for me. And I have a relationship with him, not with religious people that have a problem with it. Okay, so I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing because it's working for me and it's completely righteous, just so you know. All right, so 1961 is when Barack Obama was supposedly born. I always say supposedly because these are all planned dates and they mean all kinds of stuff. So like, do you really think that George Herbert Walker Bush, when he died on that exact day that hit so many different things with the date of November 30th, 2018? No, I don't think so. Who knows when he actually died, or if he's actually really dead? I mean, who knows all this stuff? The point thing with these people is the message over any of the substance. The message is what matters. It hits all kinds of their symbolism and numerology and all this kind of stuff, and that's what matters to them, their evil ways. And then it just so happens to match islands of Hawaii. Again, back to full circle, back to Hawaii, back to Barack Obama. Are you kidding me? Britain beyond Brexit connects back to Hawaii and back to Barack Obama again? Okay, I'm going to keep showing you stuff. Again, you could keep rolling this 26-sided die and get in a row 1961. When I put this, I write down Britain beyond Brexit, and I say, hey, try to match that. And here, get your 26-sided die and roll NINETEENSIXTYONE in a row. Are you going to be able to do that? No. Are you going to be able to roll islands of Hawaii in a row on your 26-sided die each letter? No. It's impossible. It's impossible. The only way this stuff is impossible if it's designed. I hope you see that. Hope I'm explaining it well. I'm trying to think of a good analogy, and I think that's it. It's one of many good analogies, probably. There's not a lot that really sink in and hit home for people. Okay, here's another one. Get ready for this one. Putin's pipelines. Okay, and again, these things mean something on the surface. Okay, yeah, Putin's working on pipelines and all this kind of stuff, and it's in 2019 and all that. But that's what they want the masses to focus on, so they can predictably program you and show you this underlying lesser magic that they cast over the public is what they do. This is in their writings of lesser magic, of predictive programming, all the stuff that they're doing to bring about this, that people just accept it, and then it gives them more power to keep going, where people don't go, hey, wait a minute, I don't know about this, and wait, I have the Spirit of God, and something's wrong with this, and then it would stop. But the problem is, there's not that many people that are aware and care and are praying against it and can stop it. I can pray against it. I have for 4.5 years, but the Lord's told me that, you need to pray for people and for my will, and not pray, try to against something that's on the way is going to happen anyway. So, that prayer doesn't make sense. Pray for something that's in God's will. And if you don't know, ask him. That's how you do that kind of stuff. You ask, and he will show you, oh, pray for this, pray for that, pray for this. That's called a relationship, in my view. So, Putin's pipelines. Without getting into a lot of the other meanings of these numbers, I'm going to get right into it here. So we have King Barack Hussein Obama. That's impossible for it to match English Gematria 1224. We're talking about 1,224 points of matching, and it hits every one. And it matches exactly all the way back to Obama again. That's impossible. We're talking about all these different things on the covers of 2019 Economist magazine, and they all come back to Barack Obama and Hawaii and things like that. And guess what? What's the next one? Smells Like Teen Spirit. That's weird. What's that? Some of you people don't know what that is, and even if you do, you don't know how it relates. Well, I'm going to get on a little bit of a tangent here, because that was a famous song by this guy, Kurt Cobain. Kurt Cobain was lead singer of Nirvana. He died. He was ritualistically killed. Technically, what they said was on April 8th, 1994. And he was 27. But this is all about the numbers, okay? Who knows when he actually died? Maybe he did die on that day, but then it says here, let me read it. Cobain was found dead at his home in Seattle at the age of 27. Police concluded that he had died on April 5th from a self-inflicted shotgun wound to his head. Cobain has been described as a Generation X icon. Sorry, my throat's a little dry here. I probably should get a drink. I'm going to do that. Okay, it's because I'm talking a lot and kind of loudly. So let me just show you this real quick. So 1994 is 1 plus 9 plus 9 plus 4, which is 23. I can't write on the bottom here. Right? I'm holding my phone in the air. Okay, and then let's do April 8 backwards. So we got 8. This is not working. So let's just do it this way. Okay, let's do it this way. So he was 27. And then 94 is backwards. 1994 is 23. Man, why is I don't know why this application does this with my pen. 23. And then we have 8, 4. So that's 9. Wow, I'm sorry. I don't know why this is doing this. 9, 23. And then 8, 4. So 9, 23. Barack Obama was born at 8, 4. and that's 9/23, which is the ninth month, which is November 23rd. And then it says that he was actually killed he killed himself on April 5th, which now we'll bring it over here, and that's 9. So we have 9/23, 9/23. I mean, it doesn't matter how you do it. You do it with his age and then 2/3, or you do it with the actual day they say he was killed. But it all forms 9/23, and then it shows an 8 and a 4, which is August 4th, which is Barack Obama's birthday. Without getting into all this, hopefully I probably didn't make that super clear because my pen's not writing right on this. I'm trying to not to write as much with my pen because I can't figure out why it's not writing on this program very well. It's kind of annoying. So hopefully you follow that. But if you basically put his age before the date, right after the date, like it shows on here, and then separate or change out April 8th for April 5th. See, that's not even right. April 8th for April 5th, then that's changes to 9/23, and then also April 8th is backwards 8/4, which is Barack Obama's birthday, which is really 9/23, which is really 11/23. Oh my goodness. Okay, it just keeps going. Hopefully that made sense. And then I decided to, just for the heck of it, do a gematria on November 21st, spelled out, which is 1,638 points, basically. Okay? And then, oh, what a shock. It matches exactly President Barack Hussein Obama. Again, impossible. Impossible. Okay? And then, hey, it matches also 1,000 points of light. Who has said that? Who said that? George H.W. Bush, who I talked about earlier. And he wasn't behind any of this stuff or anything, right? Yeah, he was completely behind a lot of the stuff. And, Skull and Bones 322, which is backwards 223, which is the 223rd day of the year, which is August 11th, which is also 223 is 11/23, which is the day I'm talking about, because you break up 2 into 1 and 1. I mean, it's just, these things go back full circle, back to these people, back to these things, back to these dates. Okay, it's impossible for November 21st to match exactly President Barack Hussein Obama and all this stuff to be correct. Okay, look at all this stuff to be correct, and all these stuff back to Obama, back to his dates of birth, back to all this stuff. It's just, I'm going to go back this way. It's impossible. I mean, a couple of these are impossible, and then you add one on top of the other, Okay, now I'm going to show you this. So this is a section of the Economist Magazine 2019 here, and you have Trump at the top there. You got Britain beyond Brexit. You got Putin's pipelines. But what's interesting about Putin's pipelines and Britain beyond Brexit is Putin's pipelines is PP. Putin's pipelines. Peter Pan. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. That kind of stuff. So it really sets it apart. It says, "Hey, look at me." If you understand what they're saying, okay. It really does. Okay, and then Britain beyond Brexit is BBB. So that's why I have a 222, because B is the second letter of the alphabet. So 222. And then Putin's pipelines, P equals 16. So we have 16 and 16. Okay. Why is this important? Well, let me show you. So 2 plus 2 plus 2 equals 6. 16 plus 16 equals 32. Okay, so let me show you here. Then if you take 6 and then you add it to this, I'm just going to do a couple different things here. So if you put 6 next to the 16, 16, it actually ends up being 6, 1, 6, 1, 6. So kind of like a 666, but it's also other things I'm going to show you. But then you also add up the numbers, and we're going to keep going with this. Well, another thing that sticks out is Putin's pipelines, they both end with S. So that told me, hey, let's use these letters at the end of the words as the first letter, because they're backwards, and that's what they would do. So it was a little clue. So I took, at the end of Britain, which is the first letter shown here in reverse, is Britain, first letter shown as N, but it's really the last letter, but it's shown here as the first. So N is 5, and then the end of Brexit right here. So we have N right here. T is the end of Brexit, but it's the first letter, which is 20, or you take the 0 off, which is 2. And then the D in beyond is the fourth letter. Okay, and then over here you have S and S. Again, that clued me in that not only have P and P, we have S and S, and that's for a reason. Again, I understand more and more how these people think and how their codes work. It's really crazy. So then you have to look at S and S, which is 19 and 19. Okay, so let's keep going here. That's all right here. It's so add 5 plus 2 plus 4 over here, and add 19 plus 19. So 1 plus 9 is 10, and 1 plus 9 is 10. Sorry, right here, 1 plus 9 is 10, 1 plus 9 is 10. And then you take the zeros off, that's 1 and 1. And you add these two together, you have 11 and 11. Oh, 11, 11. Well, let me just show you. And then, so now we take what we have right here, and then now we're going to reverse it. Because this was the actual cover, and then I put the other reverse cover, which makes these forward over here. So we take the same numbers. We're going to leave the 16 and 16 here on Putin's pipelines, but we just reverse the number that it made, which was 32, but now it's 23. It was 61616, but it's upside down and backwards, so it's 91919, which is going to be 111919. Because 9th month is November, like I said. So something's going to go on 9/19/19, or November 11/1919. And then we have 222, what equaled the 6, but it's upside down, so it's 9. Is this what I want to do here? I missed a step here. And then, so it's going to be 9. And then also 222 is broken up into 2, is separated into 1 and 1, so that's 1122. But let me show you this without looking at this right now. We have 923, 23rd of November, 1111, and 911. I mean, it's right here. It's right here in their codes. And then something's going to believe is going to go on November 19th, 2019. But it's right here. And whether you see all this or not, it's here. It's showing that. These are the codes that are kind of buried in here that they have secret, hidden in plain sight, I should say. Okay. Now I'm going to go into the decode of the Mona Lisa. Okay. Oh, this is crazy. All right. So here we go. Here's Mona Lisa, and I'm kind of zoomed in on her a little bit more. And it's crazy. So when you look at Mona Lisa, most people don't see anything right away. But when I reverse the image, you see something right away. Look at to the right there. Do you see something there? To the right? Okay, let's look a little bit deeper. So what's to the right there? On the right side, do you see that? It's a 5. Can you see that 5? Okay, before me, let me go back and see the 5. See right there? There's a 5. But you can only really notice it. Usually, most people can only notice it if I reverse the image. So there's a 5. And when I started looking at this, I saw it in the 2019 magazine, Comics Magazine cover, and I looked at it, and then I just decided to reverse it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's a 5. And then I immediately saw the other thing there, which is a 9 laying down. And I'm like, why are those there? And again, as soon as I reverse it, because that's what they do, they reverse, they turn upside down and reverse both sometimes. So I saw it, and I'm like, there's definitely a code in this. This is no doubt. There's a 9 right there laying down, and there's a 5. So let's start with the 9 first. Let's zoom in on that. Let's mess with that. So let's zoom in on the 9 laying down, and it starts to kind of break apart a little bit. There's something in the 9. It looks kind of like a 9 right here, and then it's turning into something else. Well, something is making up the 9. Okay, and it's starting to not look like a 9 now as you get closer into it. What does it start to look like? Now look at that. Now, and then I noticed there was a figure at the bottom, and there's something at the top, and I couldn't quite make it out, so I had to mess with filters, and then I reversed the image. So here's the image reversed, and immediately below, on the bottom, I saw a 5. But let me sharpen that up a little bit. Now look at the 5 on the bottom. Can you see the 5? It is there. And then look above. What do you see above it? I gave you a second to see if you can tell what's above it. But you can see kind of like a belly of it right here. Like a lighter space here, and it kind of goes up like that in dark. It's just it's kind of weird the way they do it, but it makes it more hidden. But it's there. It's a 6. We have the 5 on the bottom and a 6 on the top. That's what's there. And so 5 plus 6 actually makes a 9. So the 9 is really an 11. Does that sound familiar? The 9th month is really the 11th month. It's right in front of you, people. It's right here. It's hidden in plain sight, unfortunately. Boom, boom, it's right there. Whether you see it or not, I can't help you with that. But it's there. Hopefully, I made it obvious enough for most of you. Some are still going to deny it, of course. because they can't see what's playing in front of their face, and they can't see the things that the enemy hides. And that's unfortunate. I wish I could show everybody. I wish I could light it up with the Spirit of God, the things the enemy is using to dupe people, but I just can't. I can do the best I can. This is the best I can do with what I know and what I have. So that's an 11. The 9 is actually an 11. This is crazy. So now let's look at the 5. Well, if you look at the 5, it's kind of dark and everything, but you notice it's made up of a couple things as well. And then the top part kind of gets lost. So I don't see anything there, but there's definitely 2 things here. So let's put some more contrast there. And then it kind of starts sticking out a little bit more. What's right here? Well, this is what's right here. It's an S and a V. We'll go back. Look at that. See that? An S and a V. And S equals 19 and V equals 22 in simple gematria. Now, something starts to come together. So if we start from the left side where we saw the 9 laying down, and you go to the right, we have 11, 22, 19. And because the S is over the V, it's upside down, and that's what they want, upside down and backwards. So it's upside down, so the V is first, and then the S is second. So it's be 11, 22, 19, exactly what I've been saying. So the attack days are 11/21, 11/22, 11/21 Hawaii or West Coast, 11/22 on the East Coast, and 11/23 for the whole United States getting hit by nukes. I'm sorry to be the bearer of horrible, ridiculous news, but I've been praying against this for a long time, asking the Lord to share this with as many people as possible so more people get warned. And I got more here. Okay, also, if you look at this reversed as well, you see in the light colors there, it says 3. That's a 3 right here, 3. And then we have an S right there. I can't do it with my pointer here. I can do it with this one. There's an S right here. That's 3, and then S is 19. 3 plus 19 is 22. That confirms this. It's the 22nd day. That confirms the 22nd day. And then guess what? I have confirmations of the year. Will you believe me? Well, we'll see. I have another confirmation of the whole date and the year. Check this out. Look at that for a second. See that? It's hard to get why the Mona Lisa is so popular. Because it's a hidden code. I always thought, Mona Lisa, that's ridiculous. There's nothing about that matters to me. And I'm an artist. I paint. I was a graphic designer. I work for companies. And I'm like, Mona Lisa doesn't do anything for me. It's been made famous by the elites because of the message that's in it that's hidden in plain sight. Just so you know, this is the absolute truth. So there's a virgin head, and right next to it to her left, there's a lion. Can you see the lion? Hopefully you can. I'm trying to make it super obvious. There's a lion, and actually above the lion's head, or to the left lion's head, there's actually a pig, which also, in a sense, confirms in a sense, astronomy, in a sense, with Chinese lunar calendar, we're in the year of the pig, which is 2019. And there's actually a pig right here, pig's head right here. Oop. Can I hit that? Right, there's a pig's head right here. There's a lion head right here, roaring. Okay, now, what does that completely mean? Well, it's the dual constellations of Virgo and Leo. And it just so happens that there's more in this thing that confirms the time with Virgo and Leo and the moon. Now look to your left bottom corner, and you can kind of see something down there. It's more defined than any other spot in this whole painting, and it's very sharp lines, and it sticks out to me. I mean, like I said, I'm an artist, and I see graphically things that a lot of people don't see. I have color memory. I mean, all kinds of things that a lot of people don't have. But also with the Spirit of God, He shows me things. Jesus shows me things that I normally wouldn't have seen. Also, or tells me things as well. So either or both. So look very closely. Do you see something there on the left there? Do you see a moon? See a moon shape? Notice how there's no, except for kind of above it a little bit, which is another version of that moon. In a different direction, but it's something else. It's not quite the same as those very defined lines. Now look, right there, you can see this. It's very, And, I'm not sure how this was achieved. It was definitely planted there, and it was made these very sharp lines, very clear, defined lines, when the rest of it's not defined like that at all. The whole painting pretty much is not like that. So it sticks out. So if I basically put this moon right there, it shows how this is. It shows how this is, basically. Okay? Yeah, I mean, this... And I distorted the moon just a little bit, so you can see I was kind of laying flat a little bit, but it's basically the same volume and shape as the moon during this time, 11/22 of 2019. And that's the percentage of the moon is exactly 22.2%. Okay, which is, if you take 22.2%, put it backwards, it's 2.22. And then so the point separates it, where you can take the first two and separate it. And you can decompress, like I shared in episode 1. You can decompress the number from 2 to 1 and 1. So we have 11/22. So there's no coincidence that this day the moon is going to be exactly 22.2%. And not just that, there's also a time of the day that this is that time. Okay? I'm going to show you that. But look at that again. See how that matches that. Okay? As close as you can get, really. Okay? And then where the moon is on Virgo on this time of day, it's a little bit after 3 in New York, 3 a.m. in New York is the time that's shown here. And the moon is just below her shoulder. And there it is right there. Look at the moon on the right, just below her shoulders. And that's a little bit after 3 in New York, or whatever time zone it is in other places. But we know there's going to be an attack, 11/22, that's what I'm saying. And this matches the exact day, month, day, and time, or day, month, and time. Day, month, year, and time even. This is a little bit after 3 New York time, which is 11/22, which is what I'm saying about the attack day. There it is, right in front of your face. Okay, this... Again, how do I get to this stuff? The Lord Jesus leads me. I don't know this stuff. I didn't know I never heard of there being a code in Mona Lisa. I'm just following the clues that he gives me and searching it out, and then using the eyes he gives me and waiting on him and listening to him and seeing what he shows me. That's all I can do. That's what I'm doing. Because I have the audacity to want to do what he wants me to do and not do my own will. I've learned over the years, thank God, to learn how to listen to Jesus and do what he wants me to do. And it, for many years, and even somewhat recently, it's been very difficult to do that and learn how to do that, because I always want to do what I want to do, or I used to be like that. Now I'm like, okay, Lord, whatever you want to do, not my will, but thy will. That's all I care about. All I care about, because it's the most profitable thing I could possibly do. So that is exactly pointing in, I'm using Stellarium, for example, 11/22/19. You can look it up yourself. Use Stellarium. It's a free application. Look it up. There it is right there. Is that a massive, massive, massive coincidence, like all the other things I've shown you in this video and in the other episodes and my other videos? No. Okay. Now, like I said, keep in mind, I am guessing based on a lot of evidence, just like a prosecuting attorney would guess based on the evidence they have, or just like a detective would guess on the base of the evidence they have. They're guessing based on the evidence who is guilty, what the answer is, what's the solve to the problem, what is the picture to the puzzle. That's what I've always been trying to do. Okay, and people fault me for guessing and for warning people. Get a life. If you really have nothing better to do than, mock and scoff at someone who's trying to warn people about death and their souls. Seriously, go find a life somewhere. I have a life. I'm doing what I'm called to do. Go find what you're called to do. Go be blessed. Go do something, then heckle somebody else. Seriously, I'm praying for you. You people that will look at this and not see any of this, and then you can't just say, oh, I don't agree with that, or I don't see that, and then move on. You have to heckle somebody, and you have to, sometimes death threats, sometimes whatever. Seriously, I feel sorry for you. I'm also reaching out to you to say, hey, Jesus loves you no matter what you've been through, no matter what you've done, to make you act like that. Something's happened to you. Something's hurt your heart. Something's, traumatized you to make you so bitter and to do this kind of stuff, you need help. All of you, everyone who's listening to this, watching this, please come to Jesus. He's showing things very clearly. This is coming, okay? What I'm going to do on my next video is I'm going to show you how A113, which is a hidden code in Pixar movies, but it's far more than that. It's other shows and other production studios and all that kind of stuff. And then 11.3 as well, which relates. And several people put in comments about this German guy who's talking about November 3rd. And like I've said in several of them, I don't doubt that Seattle is going to be attacked, but but I'm not convinced of the date. I'm not saying he's not 100% right. He could be, but I'm not convinced on the date. And I think that date, 11.3, has to do with also A113, and those are both pointing to my time frame, and I'm going to show how. I'm going to show why it is in my next video, and other things that are going to be kind of eye-popping, crazy, just like what I just showed you now. If you can't see this decode of Mona Lisa and this other stuff on the Economist magazine that's, Hawaii blowing up and these things coming out of the pit and everything, it's right in front of your face. Wow, I don't know how you think. I don't get it. I'm sorry, but, wake up, please. Please wake up, because it's going to be here very soon. Okay, so if you didn't know, A113 is in many shows and movies, like Pixar movies, like Toy Story and other Pixar movies, pretty much all Pixar movies. I mean, I think all of them actually, in a few places maybe, there's A113 hidden, and it's really about the attack day. Okay, and that's what A stands for, but also A equals 1 also. And I'm going to show you how it exactly equals this time frame I'm talking about as well. And same with 11.3. Okay, and that's why we've seen it in even 11.3, movies and all kinds of stuff, media all over, even commercials and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so it's in like Pixar movies. It's in Family Guy. Right here is on our license. Sorry, right here, A113. I don't watch any of these really. This is American Dad, I believe. Look at the license plate on the Hummer there, A113. It goes across lines. People say, "Oh, this is a Pixar thing," and and it's about these, John Lasseter and these other guys, and they had a room called A113. Yeah, that's the cover story that they say for the masses, to believe, but that's not what it is. It's an attack day. It's predictive programming in front of your face, showing you the day that the United States is going to be destroyed. The country that has put together these things with demonic imagery, demonic societal changes, all this kind of predictive programming, every aspect that's been do people not know that TV shows and movies have moved the society into evil? I'm not judging anybody by saying if you watch a show that you're evil or something, but just realize that in these movies and TV shows and all this stuff are things to move society along on their path that they want you to go. Okay, I've watched movies and stuff and TV shows and stuff like that. I mean, a lot of these TV shows I wouldn't even consider watching because they don't bless me and they're evil and stuff. But I watch movies and stuff and different things, and I'm aware of it, so it doesn't have any effect on me. I completely know what they're doing, and I don't support it and all that kind of stuff either. But anyway, so there's also The Simpsons. Anyway, there's so much more out there with this attack information that's being hidden in plain sight, as they would say, they believe. And I'm going to show you more of that in my next episode as well, and what that really means. How do you get from A113 or 113 to the attack days I'm talking about? So, and other things as well in my next episode. So I'm going to end it right here. Hopefully you were completely blown away by this and woke up to the reality, or at least look at this as, oh, there's a possibility here. This could be the time, and making adjustments accordingly, hopefully. Or maybe you want to listen to the Lord now, or maybe you want to come to Jesus. I don't know, hopefully. But if anything, I put this in front of your face, so when it happens, at the worst case scenario, when this stuff starts happening, this came to me. Jesus showed me this through Aaron before it even happened. And so it's going to give Jesus so much more credibility, and you're going to realize that he is real. He's completely real. God is real. Okay? They're real. And they will love you, and they want the best for you. And that's why they're doing things like this through people like me and other people. Yes, there's horrible, bad examples out there in life. Yes, of course. What else is new? but there's also good examples. There's also God, no matter what men do, God doesn't change. God is good despite what we experience. God is good. God is loving. Jesus is great no matter what we experience. And I'm just pursuing him with all my heart, and he has not let me down once. So I'm going to leave it at that. And like I said, hopefully you're blessed, and watch for my next one. This is Exalted Lamb 1, over and out.